Welcome to the Concord Church of Christ. Thanks to all of you for being with us today, and a special invitation and welcome to our guests who are with us today. We're so blessed and grateful that you're here. If you are visiting with us, if you'll grab a bulletin, there's a QR code there. You can scan that. You can get more information of the calendar of events that are going on here. We would love for you to make a record of you being here, just to keep you informed of what's going on with the group. Thank you so much for being with us today. If you haven't been with us yesterday or this morning, our focus has been on Lord, I need you. And we're focused on Lord, I need you for your strength. I need you for your forgiveness and grace. And this morning we'll move on to another topic of that. We'll have the Lord's Supper toward the beginning, and then T-Bone will have some additional comments. For those of you that haven't met T-Bone, I would encourage you to get to meet him afterward. He is quite the Renaissance man. If you think he's choking, he's speaking Hebrew. It's not, he's not. But he also speaks Mandarin Chinese, and if you ever have him over, he can fix some great soul food or the most delicious Thai dishes in the world. So he's quite a great friend, and we're just so happy and grateful to have him here. So with nothing else, again, welcome. We ask you to join us in song and join us in thought as we offer up our gratitude and our praise, and we hope you are encouraged. We're, as a congregation, certainly encouraged by your attendance with us today. Thank you.
Our last session, spiritual growth. The reason we kind of put this last because spiritual growth is going to be the combinations of all the things that have come before. So having the Lord for our guidance, relying upon him for the strength that he gives us, relying upon his grace and his forgiveness. Now, when we talk about growth, of course, there's another word, another Hebrew coughing word, if you want to call it that, and it's ismoach. And it just simply means this. It means to sprout, and it means to grow. So when we're talking about our Christian life, it's related to, I'm going to say, the idea of the whole Hebrew planting system, cycle. Now, what is interesting, and I just love this, and the reason I love this because I believe God is a God who loves to eat. Okay? But he's a God who loves to eat. And the reason I say that is because the whole religious cycle is actually based upon their whole planting cycle. Their festivals, the religious festivals, are based actually upon food. Now, I want you to think about this, and I want you to understand and realize how important when we talk about spiritual growth, that sprouting, that growing is. So if we were back during that time, we would not have what's known as a linear calendar. See, we go from January to December. Our calendar would be more of a cycle, and it would be based upon some very important things. Our year would start with the early rains, and we're waiting for those early rains to actually come because this is when we're going to kind of cast our seed out. We're going to put our barley and our wheat out. But the reason we need the rain is because the ground is so hard, is that we need the first early rains to come and to actually soften up the land. And as it softens up the land, then I can throw my seed down. Now, once I throw the seed down, what I do is I plow. And so I plow the dirt over it. I plow the dirt over it. And as I plow the dirt over it, the reason I'm doing that, because now the heavy rains, the winter rains are coming in. I don't want it to wash away the seed. Think of it as thunderstorms. But now during this time, what happens is my wheat and my barley actually start to sprout. And as they start to sprout, they still need water, but I don't want heavy rains now. I want the late rains because they're going to be a little bit softer. And they're going to enrich. And they're going to cause that wheat and that barley to grow. And then as it starts to mature, you see over here, the barley is going to start to mature, the wheat's going to start to mature. And guess what's coming? Passover is coming, but it's based upon this schedule. What's coming up first? What are we going to be able to eat first? Now you have to realize this is important for us because we can't just run down to Walmart. We can't just run down to Costco. Get some wheat. We have to wait. We have to wait for the harvest to come. And then once the harvest gets here, we harvest, and so we're eating for a good little time, right? You notice our barley's coming up, our wheat is, but now it's getting ready to get dry. So now there's not going to be any rain pretty much from June all the way over to, it's going to be dry. And so I want you to think about, what have you done with the wheat and barley that you had? And now I want you to think about, wait a minute, this guy that I'm serving, okay, so he's winking with these schedules here, but he's asked me to give him the first of my harvest. Wait, what? You give me the first of my harvest? And I want you to give me the best of your harvest. Now, look how far it is before we come around to the next wheat and barley harvest. So from our perspective, we would be thinking from the perspective of scarcity. Oh, I'm not going to have enough. What am I going to do? But I want you to notice what he does. So we've got our wheat and our barley, so they're going to kind of last a while, but it's hot now. So we've harvested them, and there's not too much else around. So maybe you got some flour and stuff. But I want you to notice after the hot season, now comes, the grapes. Now comes the figs. Now comes the pomegranates, and then at the end of the cycle, we're going to end with our olives. So we're depending upon him for the full cycle. He's feeding us for the full cycle. And he's creating this calendar through the food, through the religious. This is going to now become our religious calendar, because now I'm thinking from the beginning of throwing the seed sprouting, all the way to maturity, all the way to harvesting, to the next, who's sending the early rains? Who's sending the late rains? Who's sending the heat so that the grapes and the figs and all these things can mature, and then the olives? Spiritual growth. See, in our lives, we're taking all these things that we talked about. I want you to think about this whole cycle that we're talking about, because that's what we're on. The guidance, the strength, the forgiveness, the grace, and they just keep flowing. The cycle just keeps going and keeps going. The cycle revolved around the idea of growing and maturity. But what I want you to notice, though, because it is a cycle, the growth never stops. It starts over again. If you say, if I say to you, hey, you said, I've grown, T-Bone, in my patience. I'm like, that's great, right? Patience in what? Right? Patience in people, patience in road rage. In other words, the growth continues over and over. So when we think about this, when we talk about this spiritual, and the reason I talked about the heavy rains and the light rains is because the reality is, during these different phases that are coming upon us, the reason we need God for this spiritual maturity is because the storms are coming, the dry seasons are coming. And in some of our lives, the locusts are there, right? And sometimes the locusts are our own family members. But we have to rely on Yahweh Elohim to send the rain. We have to rely on Yahweh Elohim to send the heat. We have to rely even on Yahweh Elohim for the nutrients that are in the soil. And even the very seed contains things that will even start it to sprout. We need them because we need to be able to endure the hardships. In 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verses 10 through 13, it says, "The saying is trustworthy, for if we have died with him, we will also live with him." I want you to think of that whole cycle. I want you to think of your life constantly being planted and growing, planting and growing, planting and growing, just like that cycle that we saw back there for the children of Israel. If we endure, we also will reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. If we are, and I love this, if we are faithless, you know, there are some days my faith, I'm going to say it's small. It's small. Some days it's like, wow, I can conquer mountains. And then some days I'm like Elijah running from Jezebel. I'm going to get you, T-Bone. But even when I'm faithless, it says that he remains faithful. And that's the one thing that I can trust on, that he is faithful. He will not deny himself. Hey, T-Bone, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. The message is keep on sprouting. Whatever it is, keep on sprouting. Keep on growing. Don't ever think that you get to the point that you can never learn anything. And if you get to that point, you come see me and we'll have some conversations. And I promise you, I will challenge you. I will challenge you to think a little bit more, to think a little bit harder. And hopefully when we're done, our relationship will be just that little bit more stronger. Anybody ever feel like this plant at times? Like you're wilted, things are going on in life and you just don't know what to do. We all have those. And the thing about this plant, I don't know if you notice this brown part right there. So it's wilted now, and it'll come back, but it will still have that brown scar on it as kind of a testament to what it actually went through. And that's the thing we have to realize in our Christian life as we're going through these things. There will be scars. But I want you to look at the scars a little bit differently. I want you to look at the scars as one, that you survived. Two, that God is with you. And they've helped prepare you for whatever the next thing that's coming. I keep a journal, right? I know they say it's not manly to keep a journal, but I keep a journal. And it's so beautiful, it's so wonderful to be able to look back and see where I was 20 years ago and what was going on with me. And then I go back and I read, I'm like, wow, how did I get through that? And I keep reading and I come over here and somebody was with me. Somebody was giving me strength. Someone was guiding me. And then it just starts making my strength even stronger because I get a chance, an opportunity to see the scars.
And this is hope. And this hope will not lead to disappointment. For we know how dearly God loves us, because he has given us the Holy Spirit to fill our hearts with his love. When we were utterly helpless, Christ came just at the right time and died for us sinners. Now, most people would not be willing to die for an upright person, though someone might perhaps be willing to die for an especially good person. But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. And since we have been made right in God's sight by the blood of Christ, he will certainly save us from God's condemnation.
So there we have our spiritual growth. Combining all these things together, placing all these things together in a continual cycle, in a continual pattern that then continues to move us to whatever is next in our life. What we've learned is that this spiritual growth doesn't take place. It can't be accomplished without God because you need His strength. So it can't be accomplished without Him. You need His grace. You need that wall of protection so you are removed from being destroyed. You need forgiveness, that divine forgiveness, because it's a forgiveness that you only can receive from Him. And so I want to think about, when we think about for our last thoughts, I want you. For spiritual growth, you will always need God. Okay, so just remember that. For spiritual growth, you will always need God. However, okay, I threw that little adverb in there. However, when we talk about the growth point, even though you will always need Him, spiritual growth will transform you in such a way where it's not that I just need your guidance, I want your guidance. I want your instruction. I want to walk in your path blamelessly. I want to rely on your strength, not my own ideas, not my ways of dealing with things. I want your grace and forgiveness. See, because all of these are part of, and I'm going to say this, these are all part of my desired spiritual growth. Desire. No, the devil didn't make me do it. My desire. When we get to that point where we realize we need, but now we're on the other side of I want, transformation is taking place. And when we get to that point of transformation, I believe, or at least for me, this whole idea of fear and perfect love start coming together. Because I don't have any fear. Why do I need to have any fear? Because see, I'm allowing that perfect love, that perfect peace to start to take the place. I want the desire. I want to be with you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your love. And then everything that I do is just an expression, my feeble way of just trying to show you how much I love you. Wouldn't it be great if your kids was like that? Right? Take out the garbage, Jackson. Oh, Mommy and Daddy, I love you so much. Let me go over this. That's what God is waiting for. When the transformation is taking place, it doesn't happen all at one time, but it happens because we are purposely desiring and working towards it. And so the one thing I want to leave you with, when I'm working with my clients and I'm coaching them, I said, there's one thing I need from you. Now just say it to them. I need you to do something. I'm going to reverse it for you. there's one thing that's needed for you. You need to grow. Don't be stagnant. Let the seed be planted. Let the roots start to take hold, and you just go ahead and you start to sprout. Whether it's sunshine, whether it's rain, whether it's high winds, you continue to grow through all these things, through all the hardships of life. And then what I want you to remember, I want you to go back to those two Noah characters, and whatever it is that you're going through, remember God's wall of protection that will separate you, remove you from the destruction. Now, that's not physical destruction, but spiritual. And when you start seeing that and start seeing the love that God has for you, spiritual growth is amazing. Because the reality is we serve a God who offers amazing grace. So as we sing this song of encouragement to kind of close up just a little bit here, we'll have one more song after the prayer, but I just want you to think about now that word chen and grace. And I hope that it has a different meaning for you now. I hope that it has a deeper meaning for you now. Let us stand and sing about amazing grace.